Hello Year 6, I hope you are all okay and ready to join me for Tuesday's maths lesson. We are looking at decimals again today and we'll be looking at decimals all week. Let's start off by having a look at a TT Rockstars leaderboard. I was interested to see just how many people in each class had been on TT Rockstars recently, and I found some percentages that were really interesting. I was very impressed. Lots of you have been on TT Rockstars and practicing your times tables, which we know is a really important skill. I have to say a big well done to 6P and 6R because 83% of both of your classes have been on TT Rockstars recently, so that's most of you. So I've given you both of your classes 2 Class Dojo points. Well done to 6M, 81% of you have been on TT Rockstars, and 6G, 76% of you have been on TT Rockstars. That is not bad at all, so well done to everybody. Your starter task today is another fractions recap. If you want to take this at your own pace, you can just pause the video and have a go at some fractions questions, looking at how we add, subtract, multiply and divide fractions, just to keep those skills going as it's a new skill we've learnt. If you want to challenge yourself, you can find a clock or a timer and you can see how long it takes you to do all 4 questions. So you can pause the video, go get a timer and get yourselves ready. Let's get started. So your starter questions today are these 4 questions. Pause the video and have a go. Welcome back. Okay, if you managed to do all 4 questions in under 4 minutes, well done, that's a good time. You could write down your time and you could then have another go tomorrow and see if you can beat your time. Okay, let's have a look and make sure we got our questions right because that's the most important thing. So, first question then, adding fractions. We need to make sure we've got the same denominator. So we need to find a common multiple of 3 and 9. So we can use 9 as our denominator. Okay, this has been multiplied by 3, so we do the same to the numerator. 3/9 is equivalent to 1/3. We can then keep our denominator the same, and we can add the numerators. 3 add 4, 7, so our fraction answer is 7/9. Okay, when we are multiplying fractions, then we need to multiply the numerators first. 3 times 7, giving us 21. Then we multiply the denominators. 5 times 10 is 50, so our answer is 21/50. Well done if you got those 2 correct. Question C. Okay, we've got a subtracting fractions question here. Again, we need to make sure our denominators are the same before we add or subtract. So here, we need to look for a common multiple. We can't use 3 or 4. We have to find the lowest common multiple, which will be 12, because 4 and 3 are both factors of 12. Okay, so this fraction, be careful here when you do this. This denominator has been multiplied 3 times, so we need to multiply the numerator 3 times as well. So that is equivalent, 9/12 is equivalent to 3/4. This fraction, our denominator has been multiplied 4 times, so we need to multiply our numerator 4 times, giving us 8/12. Which is equivalent to 2/3. Now we keep our denominator the same. Sorry, that's a bit wonky. Then we can deal with the numerators. 9 take away 8, which equals 1, so our answer is 1/12. Okay, then we have got our division. We've been learning this recently, so we can use our keep, change, flip method. Okay, so we can keep the first fraction, 6/8, change the divide sign to a multiply sign. Then we can flip our whole number, always over 1, remember. Flip this fraction upside down, becomes 1/5. Okay, now we can do the same as we did when we multiplied fractions. 6 times 1, multiply the numerators. 8 times 5, multiply the denominators, giving us 6/40. Okay, well done if you got that right. Your learning objective today is to multiply by 10, 100 and 1000, and we'll be looking at this with relation to decimals. We have looked at this before, but we're going to go over it again today because it's really important. We are going to use a place value method, which is a much quicker method than using long multiplication as a written method, for example, So it saves us a lot of time when we're doing calculations. It's also really useful when we get onto converting units of measurement, because we often need to do multiplication by 10, 100 and 1,000 when we are converting between kilometres and metres, or kilograms and grams, for example. So it's really useful for measurement conversion. Okay, some vocabulary you will need today. We'll be looking at whole numbers, for example 17. We'll be looking at decimal numbers, for example 17.5, that have a decimal point in and a number of decimal places. Could have one decimal place like 17.5, two decimal places, or three decimal places like 17.591. Okay, we also need the word digit. Okay, if we look at the number 17, we can see it's got two digits. 1 is one digit, 7 is another digit. It's the numbers that make up a number when they are put together. Let's begin by thinking about how we multiply whole numbers by 10 first of all. So have a think about what actually happens to the digits when we multiply a whole number by 10, because this will help us understand what we do when we get to decimals. So we've got 21 times by 10. We've got that in a place value chart. Have a think about what actually happens to the number. Okay, so when we multiply a whole number by 10, we move all the digits one place to the left. The tens digit moves to the hundreds, and the ones digit increases in value to become a 10. So why is there now a 0 in the ones column? Why have we got a 0? Well, we need to include a 0 to represent the fact that now the other digits have increased in value. There are now no ones. If we didn't include that 0 in the ones column, the number would still look like 21, not 210. So we need that 0 there to hold the place of the other numbers. Hopefully that's jogged your memory a bit about this. So have a think, how do we multiply whole numbers by 100 this time? 21 times 100. So when we multiply by 100, all the digits move two places to the left, giving us 2,100. So what about when we multiply whole numbers by 1,000? How would we do 21 times 1,000? Have a think. Well done. So when you multiply by 1,000, all the digits move three places to the left. Okay, so we've got 21,000. So a top tip for you. A trick to help you remember how many places the digits need to move is by looking at the zeros in 10, 100 and 1,000. When we multiply by 10, 1 0 means we move one place. When we multiply by 100, 2 zeros move two places, and multiply by 1,000, 3 zeros means we move three places. So that helps us remember quickly how many places we need to move the digits. Okay, your turn now. Can you have a look at these questions and write down the answers? Pause the video while you have a go. Welcome back. Let's check. So we should have 32 times 10 is 320. We've moved the digits one place because of the 1 0. 32 times 100, the answer is 3,200. We've moved the digits two places this time because of the 2 zeros in 100. And question 3, 32 times 1,000 was 32,000. We've moved the digits three places to the left because of the 3 zeros in 1,000. Well done if you got all of those right. So now we are confident with multiplying whole numbers by 10, 100 and 1,000. We can use this to help us when we multiply decimals by 10, 100 and 1,000. I'm going to show you how to do this using place value charts and some counters as well as the numbers, so we can see really clearly what happens, because it gets a little bit confusing when we start doing it with decimals. So the first question says 3.12 times by 10. So 3.12 is shown on the place value chart. We've got 3 ones, 1/10 and 2 hundredths. So we're going to times it by 10. So what we need to do is move all of the digits one place to the left. So we've moved the 3, moved the 1 and moved the 2. So our answer is 31.2. So the decimal point stays in the same place and the digits move one place to the left. So when the number is multiplied by 10, the counters move one place to the left. Okay, what about when we multiply by 100 then? So we've got the same number, 3.12, shown on the chart, multiplied by 100 this time. Let's have a look. So our 3 moves 2 places. The 1 moves 2 places. And the 2 moves 2 places. The decimal point stays where it is. So our answer is 312. So when the number is multiplied by 100, the counters move 2 places to the left. Okay, what do you think will happen when we multiply by 1,000? Pause the video and have a think. Welcome back. Okay, let's have a look. Well done if you predicted that the digits will move 3 places to the left. Let's move the 1 3 places and we'll move the 2 3 places. So our answer is 312. That's right, isn't it? Oh no, it's not. Well spotted. Because we've got this column here. Okay, we've got an empty ones column. We need to show that there's a 0. There's nothing there. We need a placeholder 0. So our answer is 3,120. But you were right. We did need to move all the digits 3 places to the left. But don't forget, sometimes we will need placeholder zeros to show an empty column. Okay, let's have a go together then. So use the place value charts to work out the answers. So 4.4 times 10, 4.4 times 100, 4.4 times 1,000. Pause the video and have a think. Okay, welcome back. Let's check. So 4.4 times 10. So I've put 4.4 on my place value chart, showing it with some counters and the digits as well. So times by 10, that's 1 0. I'm going to move each digit one place to the left. So my answer should be 44. Okay, question 2 was multiplying by 100. So 4.4 the digits need to move 2 places to the left. So 1, 2, that moves to the hundreds column. This one moves past the decimal point and to the tens column. But I can't leave the ones column blank because the answer is not 44. I need to put a 0 here to give my answer as 440. Well done if you spotted that. Okay, then we've got times by 1,000. So we need to move the digits 3 places because we've got 3 zeros. 1, 2, 3, that goes to the thousands column. This one goes to the hundreds column. Then I've got 2 empty columns, so I need some placeholder zeros here. So my answer is 4,400. Well done if you got that one right as well. So using a place value chart is really useful when we start doing this with decimals. But in reality, we don't really want to spend a lot of time drawing a place value chart to answer a question we can do very quickly. But the next sort of step to help you do this quite quickly is to use squared paper, or just to write, if you haven't got squared paper, write using columns very carefully, being really clear. So let's have a look. So 4.2 times 10. We can write our number 4.2 and then we can think about each square representing a place value column. So in your head you can visualise your ones column and your tenths column, and you can visualise moving each digit one place to the left and keeping your decimal point in the same place. So using squared paper or lining up your digits in your columns really carefully can help you answer a question quite quickly. Okay, so we can sort of visualise the place value chart in our heads, and we can use the columns on squared paper, or however you're laying it out. If you've got plain paper, do it really carefully to very quickly move the digits one place to the left. Let's have a go with multiplying by 100. So we've got 3.126 times by 100. I've rewritten it underneath, so I've got some space. And then I can see that I've got 2 zeros here, so I need to move my digits 2 places to the left. So I can move my 3 2 places, move my 1, move my 2, and move my 6. Of course, the decimal point stays in the same place. So my answer is going to be 312.6. That will be the answer to that one. Okay, let's have a look when we're multiplying by 1,000. So I've rewritten my number 0.04. This time I'm multiplying by multiplying by 1,000, which has 3 zeros. So I need to move my digits 3 places to the left. Okay, it doesn't matter which one you start with. I'll start with the 4 here. So let's move it 1, 2, 3 places. I could move the zeros, and obviously I need a placeholder 0 here because my decimal point is here. I don't need any more zeros here, but that's not really the best answer. I think I would rewrite my answer as 40. These zeros don't do any job. Okay, so my answer to that one would be 40. I'd like you to have a go at these calculations, trying to use some squared paper or at least use columns like I just showed you. Pause the video and have a go. Welcome back. Okay, let's check the answers then. So the first one, we should have had 134.4. You should have moved everything 1 place to the left. B, you should have had 4,140. You needed to move all of the digits 2 places to the left. And for the last one, you should have had 415 and moved all the digits 3 places to the left. Well done if you got those right. Sometimes we'll have a slightly different question where it's not asking you for the answer, but you'll have to think about a missing value. So for example, 2.3 times blank equals 230. I'd like you to have a think, use this place value chart to help you, and use the things at the bottom. So pause the video and have a go. Welcome back. Okay, so we had to move the digits and see how many places we moved them to get 230. So we can see that all of the digits, all the counters, move 2 places to the left, so we know that the number has been multiplied by 100. Well done if you spotted that. Okay, your turn to have a practice then. So have a look at the missing number questions, really think about each one and think about what is happening to the numbers, and you can test it out and try moving the digits and see how many times they move. Pause the video, have a go at that one. Welcome back. Okay, so the first one was 1,000. We can see it's been moved 3 places. This one was 103. Okay, it's asking you to work out the answer, but it's just switched the equal sign around a different way to the way we normally see it. And the last one was 3.044. Okay, you had to think sort of backwards for that one. Well done if you got all of those correct. If you would like a bit more fluency practice, if you go to this website here, there's a bite-sized quiz for you. You can have a little bit more practice. Okay. Next, we're going to look at a couple of examples of when someone's had a go at a question like this, but they've got it wrong, and we'll try and see if we can spot their mistakes, so it will help us from, it will prevent us from making the same mistake. So, Fred is working out 5.2 times by 1,000. He writes 5.2 times 1,000 equals 5.2000. Can you explain his mistake? Pause the video, have a think. Welcome back. Okay, so hopefully you spotted that he did get it wrong. He has added 3 zeros on the end of the number instead of moving all the digits 3 places to the left. So the answer should be 5,200. So when we have a question like this where we are explaining something or proving that somebody is wrong, it's really helpful to not only use our words to explain it, but also to give the answer that they should have had, because that proves we know what the answer should have been, and it shows that we know that they were wrong. Next question. Colin and Amali are multiplying numbers by 100. Colin says, if I multiply the number 297.50 by 100, I get 297.500. Amali says, you are incorrect. The answer would be 29,750. Is either of them correct? Explain your answer. Pause the video and have a think. Welcome back. Okay, so we should have spotted that Amali was correct. Colin was not, because he only added 2 zeros onto his number and he didn't multiply it by 100. He should have moved all the digits 2 places to the left. Well done if you spotted that. Okay, it's time to show you your chilies. I'm going to show you 4 questions for each chili, starting with chili 1. Okay, and you can move the video around and pause the screen when you need to. So chili 1, that's your first question. Question 2. Question 3. And question 4. Chili 2, this is question 1. Question 2. Question 3. And question 4. Finally, chili 3, question 1. Question 2. Question 3. And question 4. Okay, are you ready for the answers? So the answers to chili 1, you can mark your own. The answers to chili 2. And the answers to chili 3. Okay, thank you for tuning into today's maths lesson. I hope you got on well with your chili tasks. I have set you a My Maths task for today if you'd like some more practice. It is called Multiply Decimals by 10 and 100. Good luck.